Drink your coffee, read your sports, listen to the Dream Report. Let pour it pour.
Welcome to the Dream Report, the weekend appraising. It is Monday morning, May 25, 2026. I'm Marcus.
And I am Dana. We are looking at a market this week where the data just crossed a line. Across agriculture, on-highway trucking, and construction, used inventory is tightening fast.
The inventory dropped, the bid held, the warranty bill is coming. That is the spine of this episode, and we have a very specific data point to start things off. Amy Nichols released the Sandhills Global Tractor House April 2026 report on May 15th. The numbers on the supply side are dropping fast.
Compact tractor inventory is down 8% month over month and down 32.5% year over year. Planter inventory is down 26% year over year. The conventional read says supply goes down, demand stays steady, and prices go up.
But that is not what the Sandhills report shows on the auction side. Planter auction asking values are only up 2.2% year over year. The 100 to 174 horsepower tractor auction values are up just 1.8% year over year.
Why the auction side is not catching up to the shortage is the question for anyone pricing iron right now. The shortage is real, but the buyer pool is also shrinking. The financing math has changed, and a much bigger reset is coming in the second half of this year.
Let us stay with agriculture for a minute and look closer at that Sandhills Global Monthly Farm Machinery Report released May 15th. The disconnect between a 32.5% drop in compact tractor inventory and a 1.8% bump in auction values for mid-sized tractors is glaring.
It is. The bid pool is thinner because farm-side buyers are credit-constrained right now. But within that thinner pool, we're seeing a split in how condition affects the final number at the block.
Yeah, we heard a great breakdown of this recently on a recent Moving Iron podcast episode titled The Rising Value of Well-Maintained Machinery from April 16th. The hosts argued that well-documented, well-maintained machines are commanding a premium even in a soft buyer market.
Right. Condition documentation matters more than ever when the buyers who do have credit are being incredibly picky. They want the maintenance records, they want to know the exact hours and how those hours were spent.
Appraisers are seeing the comp pool itself change composition because of this. A 2024 comp on a planter is no longer reliable as a like-for-like 2026 comp. The buyers paying top dollar today are paying for certainty, which means the top-tier condition machines are pulling away from the average condition iron.
That same dynamic of tight inventory and shifting buyer behavior is playing out in the Class 8 market. We got some clarity on this from Daimler Truck North America's Q1 2026 earnings call, which was reported on May 14th by Truck Parts and Service.
Daimler Truck Remarketing reported that tightening used Class 8 inventory has been driving retail values higher since late last year. The supply is tightening, and retail buyers are having to step up. But the real story in Class 8 is what happens next. On a recent Heavy Equipment podcast episode from May 12th, the Volvo Trucks segment focused on the 2027 emissions rule as the dominant force in fleet purchasing decisions right now.
The second half of 2026 is going to see a massive distortion. Fleets are planning a pre-buy surge ahead of the EPA 2027 regulations. We saw some great color coming out of the ACT Expo from internal industry coverage of the conference.
The new ultra-low NOx rule comes with an expanded warranty mandate. That mandate stretches the diesel emissions warranty from 100,000 miles to 450,000 miles. That's a real warranty cost increase that gets baked directly into 2027 truck pricing.
ACT Expo speakers from major engine and OEM companies described roughly half of the projected 2027 truck price increase as pure warranty cost pass-through. The manufacturers are just passing that extended liability straight to the buyer.
For anyone working a heavy truck assignment, this changes the math entirely. A 2027 model year Class 8 will not be comparable to a 2026 on a straight model year adjustment. The warranty content alone is materially different.
Working appraisers are realizing they can't just apply a standard depreciation curve across that 2026 to 2027 boundary. The underlying asset has a 350,000-mile liability shift attached to it.
We're seeing a different kind of math problem on the construction side. This ties back to the Supreme Court IEEPA ruling and the CAPE refund portal. We walked through this fully in the Week the Rules Changed episode in April.
We did, and the story advanced this week. The EFA channel posted a 2025 tariff retrospective and 2026 Supreme Court outlook. They laid out exactly how the tariff aftermath is still working its way through the system.
Financing terms on equipment are being repriced as the tariff math gets sorted out. The thread for appraisers here is on the cost approach side. A chunk of the 2024 and 2025 cost approach inputs that hit comp reports over the last 2 years may now be wrong by 10 to 25%.
If an appraiser is relying on historical cost data from the peak of the tariff confusion, those replacement cost new figures are likely inflated. The market is slowly correcting those numbers, but the historical data sitting in the databases still has that tariff premium baked in.
Appraisers doing cost approach work right now are having to verify current replacement costs directly with dealers rather than trusting a 2-year-old price sheet.
The pattern across all three of these verticals is identical. We have real supply tightening, a muted price response right now, and a second half 2026 inflection point that will reset what a comparable really means.
Practitioners working active assignments are revisiting comp pool composition more often than they used to. A 2024 comp may not behave like a 2026 comp on the exact same machine model.
Working from primary source data this quarter is doing more work than it did last quarter. The market is moving under the surface, even if the top-line auction averages look flat.
The inventory has already shifted. The price will follow eventually. The question is whether your comp report will reflect that before your client's next loan covenant test. I am Marcus.
And I am Dana. Thanks for listening.